10 and short. Mateo literally sitting on the moon. Ramon Arias playing second base.
It was fun going to games again. It was fun feeling the energy of the yard. And I'm ready for the next step.
They're all exciting pieces. And, I mean, you could look at a lot of lineups this year and you could really feel good about the game. And I don't think we could say that for the last few years.
All right. What's going on, listeners? Welcome to episode, what number is it again, Josh?
It's 74.
74 without Ryan for now. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully he hops in. But we're glad to have you guys with us. Josh, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good, man. See, you did fine. Told you you'd be fine.
Good. Yeah, I was just winging it, man.
I put you on the spot like 10 seconds before I hit record. It's like, Brad, you got the intro, right?
Yeah, it's been a hell of a day. I got a couple of beers in me already, so I'm feeling good.
You're primed for podcasting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Things have been going good here. We're actually less than a month away from a finished house finally. For the first time in like a year and a half, we've been in a finished house.
That's awesome, man.
Very excited. The cabinets are coming at the beginning of September. The bathroom should be done by the end of September. So we're right there. I'm excited to have a door on my bathroom again. Things are good.
Good, man. Glad to hear it. Yeah. Moving on up in the world.
For sure. How you doing?
Not bad, man. It's been a hell of a day. So busiest week of the year probably at work. It's member guests going on at Turf Valley. So today was an interesting day. Work-wise, it was a split shift. So we, most days the normal hours are 6 to 2:30. If it's really hot, I'm usually here till 4 or 5. But they had a big tournament going on. We worked 6 to 10:30 and then came back at 4. I actually just got done working about 8 o'clock here on Friday night. It's about 9 o'clock as we speak now. In the middle of that, in between shifts, I had a KU football trivia matchup.
Yes, sir.
In the playoffs. Listen, I was telling you before we came on here, man, I'm not bad at it. Like, I'm squarely middle of the pack. Like, compared to the average KU fan, I'm probably well above average, but compared to the people in this competition, there were 24 people in the regular season, 12 made the playoffs, and points-wise, I hit my easy and medium questions. I would miss the hards and really hards. I was smack dab in the middle. But the guys I played against were all like top-ranked guys that for whatever reason they might not like my face, and I might distract them. And they underperform against me. I don't know why. So I did well enough to get in. And then today was kind of no different. So got the win in the playoffs. I win yet another $25 gift card to a restaurant that I probably won't be able to visit I don't plan on going out to Kansas this year. You never know. But probably at least another year. So
you got to be the only guy living in Maryland on that trivia show, right?
As far as I know.
As far as you know.
I think all of them live in Kansas, but, I'm an alum, man. I listen to the podcast. It's actually broadcast on the radio out there.
That's awesome.
But they also record as a podcast that comes out usually around 7 o'clock every night during the week. So it's fun. I'm moving on. I'm probably going to get my butt kicked next week because the guy I'm playing next week is really good. He's a 2 seed. But you never know, man. If the questions fall my way and I get lucky, maybe I can pull it out. But
we'll find out next week.
But for now, I've won $50 worth of gift cards to shout out to 23rd Street Brewery in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm just glad to be here. They say it's a loser mentality. I shouldn't still be in this, and I still am. So I'm happy about that.
If anything, you could list one of them on Facebook Marketplace. Just change your location to Lawrence, and then tell them just tell me your address. I'll mail it to you.
I could. That is a nice restaurant, though. I'm familiar with it. I used to live right next door to it. So if they don't expire, I'll hold on to them until the next time I go out there, which will maybe next year. We'll see.
If they don't expire, that'd be clutch. But
yeah.
So, you try to go to a game out there a year, or at least go out there once a year?
So normally I'll go to not once a year, man. I went out there last year, but it was totally because College Game Day went to Kansas for football.
Right.
Because they started 5-0, and I was like, all right, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. We're a terrible football program. Listen, Kansas is a basketball school, but I am just as diehard into football, if not more. So the fact that they were 5-0 hosting College Game Day, I was like, listen, that's probably never going to happen again in my life. So I'm booking the flights. I'm going out, and I'm gonna have myself a good old time. And we lost the game, but it was still a good old time. It was
Yeah,
a
who
great game.
cares?
It was a great game, and it was a great experience. I'm glad I did it. So I probably won't be out this year, maybe next year. But normally, I've actually been to a road game for KU for probably like 6 straight years now at this point for football and basketball. Every year they come to West Virginia, I go. So
I knew you went to the West Virginia game every year. You come up, you don't come up here for Pitt games at all. I know you do Penn State a little bit, right?
well, yeah. So Penn State, like I was telling you before we came on here, they're
Yeah.
kind of my side piece because that's where I got my turf management certification from. I got my undergrad from KU. So I root for Penn State as long as they're not playing for Kansas. And my dad's actually a full-on Penn State alum. So there's a little bit of Penn State in my blood, and my grandmother still lives close by. My cousins and my aunts and uncles still live close by. The funny thing is, my cousin, she's 22, 23 years old. I'm actually super tight with her fiance. I talk to her fiance way more than I talk to her. I kind of feel bad about it.
That
But
happens sometimes.
he's like into the same shit as me. We talk sports like every fucking day, man. So I went to the Penn State game last year with him, and then she actually tagged along, and I didn't even know if she was going to come or not. So I got he was like, "Yeah, Faith's not coming." And I get up there, and it's like, "Oh, Faith's my cousin." I was like, "Sorry, you can't join us." She's like, "Oh, I guess I'm going." So I was like, "Okay, cool."
Okay.
So yeah, so I root for Penn State. I went to my first Penn State football game last year, and Penn State basketball was actually fun to watch last year, but they won't be nearly as good. They shot the lights out from three, man. I had fun watching them, but yeah, KU's my main squeeze, but I'll root for Penn State on the side too.
Okay. You don't come up
Yep.
for Pitt games at all, though, right?
I would. Oh, Ryan's about to join. How
Ryan?
about that? He's awake. I haven't, but I'm certainly open to it, bro. But KU doesn't really play Pitt, so if they ever
No.
did, but if there were the opportunity presented itself, like for a good game, I would. I love going to college football games, so I would love the atmosphere.
We'll
So
keep an eye out for it.
yeah, keep an eye out for it. I would be open to joining you at a Pitt game.
I don't think they come this year, but Ryan, how we doing, buddy? We just finished our how we doings.
I'm here.
He's
You're
here.
Whoa!
Yeah.
All right.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, not much. We're just finished the intros. We're gonna go through the recap here of the last few series. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Let me get notes open.
Yeah, they're semi filled out, but I'll just start rattling it off. Took 3 of 4 versus Toronto. That was a satisfying series. Then went into New York, swept the Mets. Then took 1 out of 3 from Houston, 2 out of 3 versus Seattle, and then finished up San Diego 2 nights ago. Took 1 out of 3 from them. Kind of a tough series there. They're in Oakland tonight. I'm trying to think, like, there's just so many series sometimes in between episodes that I can't remember like a specific takeaway on some of these, but I don't know. Any thoughts, Bradley? I know you've been watching games probably more than both of us, but
Yeah. All right. So the Toronto series is obviously huge. We locked up the tiebreaker on them. We're up 8-2 in the season series. That's a big thing for me, locking up the tiebreaker. So we're what, 7 games up on Toronto right now?
something like that,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah. So even if they sweep us, let's say worst case scenario, the next time we play them, we're up 4 and we still hold the tiebreaker. That's great because I still see Toronto as a threat. They're a team that can run off 12 out of 15 at any given time. I mean, maybe less so with Boba Shed out, but I don't even know how long he's out for. So
Supposed to be back soon, I think. Oh, we're up 8 games on Toronto.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a huge series. What was the next one after that, you said? Was that the Houston series?
That was the Houston series. Oh, no, that was the Mets. We swept the Mets, but
Swept the Mets. I had the pleasure of sitting in very good seats with a buddy of mine for the 3rd game of that series. We did what we had to do against a bad team, and that was great.
Yep.
And listen, I know the Mets suck. They sold and everything. They're
starting DJ Stewart.
They're starting DJ Stewart. I don't give a shit about any of that, man. It's hard to sweep any team in MLB. So I was thrilled about that. Then comes the Houston series. Maybe the first game of that was maybe the toughest loss of the year. That was
brutal.
Up 6-3 going to the 9th inning. And Felix, I can't hate on Felix, man. He's been fucking awesome all year, but he didn't have it that night. And I think he gave up one hit, maybe two walks, and Kyle Tucker hits a fucking grand slam, and that was an absolute heartbreaker. We lost the next day, but then kept our streak of not getting swept in game 3. So that was good.
Yeah, I turned
And
that first game off because I was like, "Oh, we're up 6-0 in the 5th inning or something like that." I was, "We're good." Turned it
yeah,
off. Woke up the next day, not good.
yeah. So that was not the best series, but we salvaged 1 out of 3. Listen, I will say I did see a lot of hot takes like, oh, the Astros are proving how much better they are than the Orioles. Okay, listen, I respect, and a lot of people aren't going to like that I'm saying this because they have the whole cheating scandal. I don't give a shit about the sign stealing scandal. The Astros are the standard in MLB. I understand that. I don't give a fuck about the whole using technology. All teams, I feel like, steal signs to a point. Maybe they might not go that far, but the Astros literally won the World Series on the road, bro. They're good because they're good. So I respect them, but at the same time, we have a better record than them for a reason. But sometimes you're going to lose series to good teams. Every good team loses series sometimes during the season. So I don't necessarily see it as, yeah, that proves anything.
No one
But
series can do that.
yeah,
I don't think.
I don't
I
know.
just don't want to see them in the ALDS. I have
Yep.
no interest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk all these all the way through. I want to give you guys a turn. I'll get to the other series when I get there, but those are my thoughts so far. So,
I think that
Josh, do you
was
want to go next?
a fine summary. I don't.
But I'm excited about the series after that to talk about. But go ahead, give your thoughts as well.
I mean, everything was kind of rolling those couple series there. Like the bats were hot, the pitching was good enough. Didn't really need to use like Felix for a ton of those games. We did in Toronto, I think, but like the Met series was kind of a breeze, a couple close ones, but nothing too threatening. And then avoided the sweep in Houston. That's key. I think Dean Kramer's the only one that pitched well in that series for starters. Yeah. He always pitches good against the Astros, but yeah, I mean, just good all around performances and doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, 100%.
And Seattle's the series after that. That was a fun
man.
one.
Yeah, dude. So the Seattle series, that was I mean, we got our ass kicked game 1.
That was a tough game 1.
They kicked the ever living dog shit out of us. But the second game is actually probably my favorite game of the season because it's Felix Hernandez night in Seattle, right? And Mariners fans recently have been on a bitch fest about Felix Bautista because, oh, he's not the King Felix, the real King Felix. Yeah, listen.
Because our admin on social media.
Because some fucking 20-year-old intern for the Orioles called him King Felix. Not any Orioles fan actually calls him that. Like, he's the Mountain. That's his nickname. Felix Bautista's the Mountain. So they fucking hate Felix Bautista. They've been bitching about him for months. And we're on Felix Hernandez.
The reporters are going up to Felix saying, "Do you want to be called King Felix too?" Like, that was insane.
Yeah, that, like, all right, man. Like, okay, if it's one thing, I expect a few Mariners fans on Twitter to, take exception to it and bitch about it a little bit, but they went way over the top with
confronted him at the All-Star game.
Confronted him at the All-Star game. It was wild, man. And that second game, we go to the 9th inning. It's 0-0. We don't score in the top of the 9th. George Kirby pitches a fucking gem.
That was a great game.
Shout out George Kirby. Respect. And so it's Felix Bautista time. And I remember saying, okay, the Mariners have 6 to 8 in the batting order coming up in the bottom of the 9th. If Felix can just get 6 to 8 out and send it to extra innings, we'll see what happens with the runner starting on second. And he does it. Well, he gets the first 2 guys out, and then Marlowe gets a single, and then he originally steals second base, but upon review, he got thrown out. So I'm like, all right, cool. Felix did his job. We go to extras. We scratch off the token run with the runner starting on second. And then Felix just giving the biggest fuck you to Mariners fans by striking out 3 straight was the highlight of the season for me. So
Runner
far,
never touched third base. Their
Yeah.
extra runner never got to third.
Yeah, he struck out 3 straight. So that was my favorite game of the season. And then Cedric Mullins' game was game 3. And he makes a great fucking catch to rob a home run for the second out in the ninth, and then they hit a fucking game tie bomb the next one. You're like, motherfucker. But Cedric plays hero again in the top half and hits a go-ahead 2-run bomb. So
yeah, that was brutal because the highlights I had seen, I wasn't watching that one live, and I saw we had blown the lead, and then I didn't hear about the Cedric Mullins catch till he hit the home run. And I looked back, and that was the second out of the top of the ninth, or the bottom of the ninth, and I was like, oh man, like Mike Bauman's going crazy. I'm like, I know what happens next. Like I've already seen the clips, but yeah, insane performance from him. It was a 2-run shot for Ced.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they had the runner starting on second. So
okay, I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3.
It was a 2-run shot.
Yeah, just I'm glad he's back.
Mm-hmm.
Simple terms.
And then Shinichiro Fujinami, who's the most bipolar pitcher probably ever, because he's either fucking unhittable or he can't hit the strike zone.
The stuff is nuts.
So when he, in the Mets series, the game I was at, the third game of it, he was actually 1 pitch away from an immaculate inning. Which I looked it up. There's been like 115 of them in MLB history. So if you do the math,
it's not a lot.
Compare perfect games to number of games pitched, and then compare innings to number of games there is. Immaculate innings more rare than a perfect game. If you put it
percentage wise, yeah.
Percentage wise. And he was so he strikes out the first 2 batters on 3 strikes, and then he throws strike 1. And then I'm with my buddy and his parents, and my buddy Nick says to me, and I love his dad. His dad's like a very smart baseball guy. He's like one of my best friends since childhood. He's like, oh, Paul Meyer just might have jinxed it. I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't even realize what was going on. He's like, immaculate inning watch. And the next pitch is strike 2. I'm like, holy shit, dude. I'm on the edge of my seat. But then it was a 9-pitch inning, but it ended up being a pop-out 10th inning. So still very cool. But Fujinami, yeah, he's very bipolar. And in the Seattle series, he came in, got the save with the runner on second. The runner on second didn't score. So it was on Fuji that day. So
right. I just in the couple times I've watched him, it seems like he's not the guy to put in if there's someone on base. Like he's got to have a clean slate or else it's not going to happen.
At some point, I feel like he's kind of like if you've used up your entire bullpen and like say you don't score in the top half of the inning and they got the runner starting on second and you feel like you're probably fucked because odds are the runner on second is going to score.
You've used Felix, you've used Cano.
In that case, put in Fuji because probably nobody else is going to stop him from scoring. Fuji actually had the chance of on Fuji's there. So,
right. Perez has been really good the last like month or so too. I think his ERA over that span's like less than 1, something like that.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him much, but yeah, that'll help.
Yeah.
And then after that, we took 1 of 3 from San Diego. I just remember the first game being fun to watch, but then the other 2 were not.
Yeah. So my thoughts going into the San Diego series, I looked at everything, and they have like the same run differential as the Orioles, and they're below 500.
Interesting.
Like it's very close. So I looked at that and I was like, they're just kind of fucking due, man. And I was thrilled we won the first game. We dropped the next 2, but San Diego is probably the best 5-game below 500 team I've seen at this point in the season ever. So a lot of people act like the sky was falling that we lost to them. Whatever, dude. I'm not.
Well, that offense is filthy.
It is. Like, and their rotation is pretty fucking good too.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is their bullpen. I looked at their bullpen. Their bullpen is like above average. Like, how the fuck are they below 500? Makes no sense.
Well, I think like Machado's kind of having like not a down year, but like not Machado's standard year. Cronenworth's kind of not too good. Their outfield's pretty pathetic, I think, offense wise. Good defensive guys, but I think Ha-Seong Kim is like their best player right now. He's like a 6'4" guy right now.
Yeah.
He was fun to watch, but yeah, there's Soto, of course, is Soto, but I don't know. Yeah, like you said, the best five below or 5 wins below 500 team you've ever seen.
For sure. Ryan, I know you canceled your cable. You haven't seen as many games lately, but
Not as many. I have not seen a pitch of Orioles baseball in about a month, so
yeah, but I'm sure you're kind of aware of what's going on at least a little bit.
not really, man. They've been in combination with this. They've been playing it on the West Coast.
Yeah, yeah. The
I don't
West
stay
Coast
up.
the West Coast games are definitely tough. My policy on West Coast games is basically if they go up early, I'll stay up and watch as long as they're still up. But if they go down, I'm like, all right, I need to get my sleep. So
Is
I just
Oakland the
look.
last series that they're out there?
No,
No.
they go right back out west next weekend. 2 weekends from now.
so it's the last one on this trip
On
though.
this trip, yeah.
This trip, yes.
Okay. I know they go out
Wow.
to Arizona, right? In a couple weeks.
Arizona, Anaheim, somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's another 3-town West Coast trip.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. That's good. Yeah. So they got 3 cities come back home and then 3 more West Coast cities. So okay.
Yeah, right back out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, better get them out of the way before September.
Yeah, 100%, man.
So looking at the last 10, 5-5 over that span, Tampa Bay's had a pretty similar stretch. They're still just two back. I think they're in Los Angeles tonight playing the Angels. So
Yeah, it'd be nice if the good angel showed up for this series. So
you got a healthy Trout and Otani's Otani.
wait,
So
hold up. Trout's back?
hasn't he? Oh no, he's out for the year, isn't he?
I don't know. I thought he was out like indefinitely, but
Let me see here. Oh, he's on the IL. Never mind.
yeah.
Well, there goes that series.
Okay, yeah. So speaking of the Angels, I'm all for guys don't need to spend ridiculous amounts of time in the minor leagues if they proved it, but they already just called up tonight their 2023 first round draft pick.
Wasn't he 2022 or is he?
No,
he was
he's
drafted-
played 21 minor league games.
That's insane. What are they doing?
Listen,
It's kind of worked out with Zach Neto, so they just think it's gonna blanket
Work out for
fucking
everybody.
work out for everybody. Yeah.
I'm okay.
I love it.
I personally would like to see him do well, but I'm still not going to ask the Orioles to move guys that quickly.
The thing is, they do it usually when you see it. It's guys who were like seniors in college, and they're pretty polished guys already. I think the guy they called up I think he's 23, so he's seen his share of like high A ball and when he was playing D1. But I think Garrett Crochet was the last one they did that with the White Sox a couple of years ago. He was like a Tennessee guy, and he was throwing like 102 out of the bullpen. They used him for the playoff stretch, but that's the last one I can remember. But
I remember the White Sox doing that with Chris Sale the year that he got drafted. He was up in like August, but that was like 2011. So I don't.
It was a while ago. Yeah,
I don't remember the Garrett Crochet guy. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't done anything since then. He just threw really hard for that span. I think he had TJ actually last year. So he's not even back from that yet. But yeah, isn't Bradfield doing pretty good so far?
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so
he's got like 12 stolen bases already.
15,
more 16 including rookie ball actually.
Oh, okay.
16 for 16 in 11 minor league games. I'm a big fan of stolen bases. I know you guys are big Jorge Mateo haters at this point. I'm like,
I'm fine. I love stolen bases as long as you can do something else.
You're right. You guys are right. You guys are right. Jorge Mateo is useless at this point. So, and then last year I've talked a lot about how I know Luis Valdez isn't an actual big league prospect, but I love to see how many bases he stole. I am super giddy about the fact that we actually have a real prospect who can fucking swipe bags, man. Because when I was a kid, that was like, I think I might have liked stolen bases even more than bombs. So
I think I did too, because like I grew up watching those like late 2000s, early 2010s Tigers, and
oh my god,
they never stole bases because it was just full of these like older guys who just mashed, and none of them ever stole, and it was just really annoying. But like Austin Jackson was the only guy that ever moved.
Yeah.
How many is
So
Luis at this year? I'm looking right now.
he's at like 43, but he's got like a 560 OPS in A ball. So
He's toast.
yeah, he's toast. I love the guy, but he's not a prospect. So
It's over.
I'm actually pulling up Delmarva's box score right now to see if Bradfield did anything tonight.
He's sickening.
No, he actually sat tonight. So
Okay. He's like the only one I've like looked at, I think, for the 2023 guys.
it's just cool, man. It's cool.
Yeah, it
He's
is.
fucking 16 for 16 in 11 games, including rookie ball, but whatever, you know.
Uh, my notes are all over the place today, but I just wrote like Mont's the only hot hitter at the moment. We kind of went through the pitching a little bit, getting hammered. Did you guys want to talk at all through the Wander Franco situation?
Yeah,
Would
let's do. I mean, we
would love
have
to.
to. We have to.
Okay.
Brian, go ahead, start it out.
Why me?
Because like one of your best friends is the Rays fan, and you probably follow him a little closer. And how's Devin feeling over all this, man?
Um, he would like it to be over,
It's.
and
I mean, it
and I
is. It's.
I
It's.
can fully understand and identify with that for sure.
I actually kind of feel bad for like Rays fans over this.
I do too, yeah.
That would.
Oh, I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, there's got to be some sort of language in that extension that would get the Rays out of this, like out of that
Right.
contract, right? Because if not, the Rays would never extend a player again. Like
Well,
the
I'm
Rays
surprised
never
that
extend
teams
players.
aren't
Yeah.
already doing this. Like, why? Like, with the way society is now, where everything is so like drawn out, everything is covered. All these organizations and companies can never get burned because they've legally put it in every contract. I'm surprised there's not like some sort of clause for that in a 12-year contract for a
Oh no,
20.
I'm saying I'm sure there is.
Okay,
Yeah, I think there is. I think
There
they could
has to
probably
be.
get out of it.
you would think, right? But continue.
Yeah, so it's really been a hard thing to keep up with because everything's in fucking Spanish, and I don't know what Elon did to Twitter's translate. Like I used to just be able to like see a tweet in a foreign language and hit the little translate button, and it would just like perfectly put it into English in front of me. But it doesn't do that anymore, and I don't know why.
Oh, mine does it.
Well, maybe it's
Sorry.
just been the ones that I'm seeing. It's fine. Um, but essentially, it just it seems like he's in a relationship with a minor.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what the fuck, dude?
It's just the most random thing.
And then like when it broke, people were like, "Yeah, this happens in the Dominican all the time." Like, okay,
But it's not legal. To clarify, it's still not legal in the Dominican Republic.
no, it's just I guess
More common. Yeah, the age. I looked it up. I did research on this. Is like, is this legal there? So if it is, I'm like,
what's the gray area? Yeah.
but no, it's not. The age of consent is still 18 in the DR. So
Is that like a cultural thing then that you're referring to, Ryan?
I'm thinking. I don't know. Nobody that I saw like elaborated on what they were saying at all. But if I had to guess, I would say it's probably like a poverty thing.
yeah,
Like they sell these girls into like they essentially sell them probably
The wealthier class.
to wealthy men. And I mean, it sounds to me like kind of like an Epstein thing in a way. It's pretty fucked, man.
yeah.
It's pretty fucked. But yeah, I don't know. That guy, I was when I was talking to Devin about this, he was saying that the guy that broke the news that excuse me, that Wander, like he said something like he's probably played his last game in Major League Baseball or whatever.
Someone like close to Wander, yeah.
That's the guy that broke his contract extension.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That is apparently the guy that first broke it when he signed that deal. So clearly this person has some sort of connection to Wander Franco. Oh, excuse me. And obviously knows something.
So
Yeah.
I also Again, this is like very little information I'm going off of here, but Devin also told me that it sounds like this could be like deeper than just like a one-off thing with Wander, and
That's what I'm curious about.
there could
Yeah.
be other major league players involved.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Um,
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
One name that he said has been brought up was Julio Rodriguez.
Really?
Yep.
That's
And
insane.
If
I
you
don't know
can't,
about you, Brad. I don't know about you, Brad, but if the same thing happened to Julio, I'd probably dance in the fucking streets. Fuck the
it's
Mariners.
it's fucked up to say like I'm sorry for the victims and all that, but yeah. I mean, fuck the Mariners.
Yeah. Same.
No,
Yep.
I mean I want to put an emphasis on this is all a very fucked up situation.
Of course it is. It doesn't need to be said.
Yeah.
Right.
I know somebody's gonna probably twist that in the wrong way, like, oh, so you don't get it. Not stop it.
You're an apologist. Right.
Yep.
I
It's
wonder,
a good
like, if
thing
do you think it goes deeper than just those two names too?
I'm
I
sure
mean,
it
I would
does.
imagine.
If it's a
if
cultural thing.
if it's those two, it's not just them.
Right. Like those are just the big names.
Yeah.
Yeah, insane for like the league. Terrible news for the Rays.
To be fair, if Julio Rodriguez's agent is listening in, we're not accusing him of anything. We don't know anything.
Yeah.
That's what's so weird about this case is that like most of it's hearsay for the most part. Like I was trying to
Mhm.
find like anything official on it the first couple of days it was out, and there's like it's bottom of the barrel stuff. You're not gonna find like real journalism because it's just so up in the air for like what's true and not. And but like he's under
Mhm.
investigation, which is kind of all you could ask for. Um,
Where there's smoke, there's usually fire.
right.
Generally,
Exactly.
yes.
There's a little bit of truth in there. I saw like a bunch of like Rays fans saying like that they had definitive evidence that there was that the girl's actually 19. He met her at like a strip club
Of
and
course.
she's
Yeah.
got like a kid or something. And he's trying to like he was all good, but she tried to like blackmail him after they like broke up or something. It was weird. Um, but once again, it's just a fan tweeting something. Like,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
He
There's not
played
much more enjoyable than watching fans of someone like scramble to defend them when they get in trouble.
Just
yeah.
for no other purpose
It's
than they play
pathetic,
for
but
their
it's
team.
hilarious.
This
Yeah.
is the kind of thing why I try not to get too attached to individual players. I mean, yeah, there might be some that I'm more a bigger fan of, but like they could be a shithead at any time.
For sure.
So
For sure.
Yeah. Try to follow players that
boom.
aren't gonna have too much of that happen. What'd Cedric just do? Double?
All I see is in play runs, and we were already up 1-0 with first and second one out. So I'm waiting on the updates. So.
Yeah, hit a double over the right fielder, 3
Oh,
nothing.
you got the okay.
I have the game up, but yeah, that's fun stuff. If the Rays are without their starting shortstop for the rest of the year, who is I think he's what, like a 5 WAR guy this year, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, they took 2 out of 3 from the Giants, so hopefully, dude. I will say so. Yeah, I mean, we play Oakland this weekend. Yeah, we're off to a good start. We're up 3-0 in the first. I get more nervous against these dog shit teams than I do against the good teams because, like, this is like we gotta win these, man.
Yeah, the
We're close
pressure's
to
on.
it. And I am fully aware because I've seen some really bad Orioles teams over the years, really bad. The 2018 to 21 tank era, they still won games. Like
Against somebody.
like people are like, oh, we got to sweep Oakland. I'm like, I'd love to sweep Oakland, but it's not a fucking given, man. This is Major League fucking baseball. The worst teams are still going to win like a third of their games. So
Don't you think it's funny how easy it is to point to see like the new O's fans that act like if you don't sweep a team that is worse than you fucking blow dicks and you suck.
I hate it. Like officially on the record, I only asked for 2 out of 3 against 8.
Yeah, I mean it's 2 out of 3 is. I mean if we got swept or lost 2 out of 3 to Oakland, that would be extremely unacceptable.
Now,
But,
if we, still, I say that right now, we lose a game, I'll probably be disappointed in the moment. But like perspective wise, yeah, 2 out of 3 is what you asked for, and then you
I guess
hope
it
for
also
more.
does kind of change too, depending on like the if like we say we're happy with 2 out of 3, but like if
I
the
wouldn't
third
say, yeah,
if the loss is like a dumb game that's like a ninth inning blown save, I think
right,
it's acceptable to be upset about that too, because
yeah,
it's like the
yeah.
sweeper's right there for the taking and you fucking blew it.
Yeah, what are
No,
the circumstances
I,
around that one?
Yeah,
and I mean, in the moment, if we take 2 out of 3, the day that we lose, I can understand why people will complain for losing to Oakland. But like, if we get past the series and they're like, "Why didn't we sweep Oakland?" It's
yeah,
like,
it's like all right, chill the fuck out.
because in the moment, I'll probably act the same fucking way because they really fucking suck.
They're pretty bad.
They're very bad.
But they're a major league baseball team, and I've seen the tank era Orioles win close to a third of their games. So
Well, no one will bat an eye if you lose 2 out of 3 to Houston or even San Diego. But I just remember when we were the bad team, and if we took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees, like we did in 2021 a lot, just the way we felt during that, and like how bad we looked at the Yankees. I
yeah,
don't want that to be us here and from this side of it.
Those are the
yeah.
best parts of the tank era right there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like you know
Well,
that meme of John Cena and he's like that, like seeing like the fans of the good teams react that way after we would beat them. It's just
Well, in
chef's kiss. It's
2021, we're like
beautiful.
the reason why the Yankees had to go play the one game wild card against
Correct.
Boston. And then
Correct.
Boston, beat them, which was
Correct.
amazing. But I think we were 500 against them, and that was enough to do it. Something
yeah.
like that. We might even had a winning record against them.
I'll be right back, boys. Keep talking.
No problem.
Yeah.
Now the Yankees are what, like 8 games below 500, something like that.
They're no, they've just slipped below
Oh, no, they're not.
500.
They're not below that much, but
You mean back? Is that
they're in
what you're
like
talking
fifth
about?
place. Yeah,
Yeah, they're definitely in last. Yeah, for sure.
14 games out. Yeah. Did you see? You probably don't care, but John Boy and Jake on their podcast about the Yankees, they actually got Aaron Boone on the show, and we're just
Yeah, and then they just made fun of him. Like,
yeah,
the fuck is wrong with you?
the day after the trade deadline, which he
Yeah,
has nothing, and he's not in control of any of that.
yeah. These guys are such fucking tools. I like watching the whole like Blitzball warehouse thing. I think that's really cool and
Yeah,
fun content to watch. Like they had Jeff Passan
just
in
sitting
there the
there.
other day. Did you see that?
Yeah,
And like Jeff Passan like brought his son and he was facing John Boy and he Passan's like, hey, he's been talking shit like for weeks leading up to this. He can't wait to get a hit off of him, and then like John Boy just like blows 3 past him when he whiffs. And like you can hear the disappointment in Passan's voice. He's like, I just want to disown this kid right now. He's such a funny guy.
oh, he's
Jeff
hilarious.
Passan is like he's incredible. Like I don't think I ever fully appreciated him until now, but he's amazing. He's really cool.
They had him on there. I used to listen to them a bit more, but they had him on there during like I think it was the 2021 trade deadline. He was like an
Mm-hmm.
actual guest on their show.
Mm-hmm.
And right when he came on, they basically like introduced him and then they went to do an ad, and the ad was for that like men Roman thing, like for erectile dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, "What are you talking about?" Just a really good segment where he's like, "This is what you had me on for."
I saw a clip of him on their podcast recently where they did they did Immaculate. They
Mhm.
just pulled the Days Immaculate grid up for him, and he did it in 12 seconds.
That's crazy.
He's a machine, dude. And like I know I've told you about it before, but I've seen clips of him where he's shown a baseball reference page with nothing but the stats, and he like works through it in his head, but he figures it out
I'm so bad
just
at those. Like, I
just
need to
by
know the team and like maybe the number, the era, or something.
it's crazy, man. I
Yeah,
can't
it's
like
nuts.
he's nuts. He's just well, I mean, his job is baseball, so it makes sense. But like,
It's true.
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's I love the guy though. He's fantastic. I hope he stays doing what he does for a very long time because I very much enjoy everything about Jeff Passan. So shout
Oh
out to
yeah,
Jeff Passan.
for sure.
I know he's listening right now.
Yep, obviously. Um, this all transpired and ended in the span of time between our episodes. But any final thoughts on the Kevin Brown stuff that went on?
Yeah, okay. I'll go first.
Brad's going to go first.
All right. I mean, clearly he was reading the stats of how they had performed against the Rays over the last few years. He wasn't talking shit about them. Kevin Brown genuinely wants the Orioles to do well. He's not a born Orioles fan. He's a broadcaster, but he enjoys working for the team, and it's a lot more fun for them when they're good. He doesn't want them to suck. Okay? It was a scripted broadcast.
There was a prepared graphic to go along with it.
It wasn't just him. Like, if you're going to suspend him, suspend everybody, but you shouldn't suspend anybody.
Especially the guy reading a script.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
think it was just that though. Like Ryan.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I don't want to imply anything because I have the utmost respect and love for Kevin Brown. He was the first guest. He was the first guest on this show we've ever had.
That's right.
Fantastic guy, and despite my deep-seated hatred for Jonathan P. Angelos, I just don't think that's all it was.
Yeah, like that's not a serious person if that's the reason for the suspension.
I don't know. So I had a buddy of mine who's a Royals fan. One of my college buddies hit me up. He's like, "What's up with the broadcaster situation?" And I was like, "Dude, how much time do you have?" It's John Angelos. That's probably the third biggest problem right now. Kevin Brown got fucked. There's no doubt about it. He didn't do anything wrong. But John Angelos, there's a history of not being able to trust him. I don't know what better way to put it.
He's a snake.
And I told him, yeah, the Kevin Brown situation, I ranked that number 3 on John Angelos' biggest issues. I went on to tell him the whole story of the lawsuit and everything between Lou and the mother and John and all that and how dysfunctional their whole family is. It's like, number 1 is he hasn't signed a lease yet.
By the way, Josh, I'm very sorry to cut you off, Brad. You will absolutely go right back into your story.
Go ahead.
Just wanted to correct you, Josh. We were discussing something the other day, and Lou sued John. John didn't sue Lou.
Right.
Yes, I realized that after I sent that, actually.
Yeah. That's all. I just wanted to interject with that. Go ahead, Brad.
So I told my buddy Aaron, he was like, well, so he's a meteorologist in South Dakota. He's a weatherman. He's on TV and everything. Like, he's my famous college roommate out in South Dakota. But he's a big Royals fan. He's like, yeah, tell me about this whole fucking broadcaster situation, man. So I was like, I'm going to dive into the whole.
Weathermen don't swear, Brad.
He didn't swear, actually, but he does sometimes.
Okay.
He does sometimes, but he didn't in this case. He's like, what's up with your broadcaster? So I said, Aaron, how much time do you have? He was like, well, I'm just going to be sitting in my chair all day. So, like, okay. All right. I'm going to tell you the whole story about the Angelos family. So I went into the whole ordeal about the lawsuit and everything and about how the fact the lease isn't signed. And So speaking of the lease, I did talk to Ryan, you know Myers. We golfed with another
fantastic golfer. That was very humbling playing with him.
It's crazy because Myers is a guy who my whole life I've been better than him at most sports, but he can dominate me in golf. He's pretty fucking good. And Ryan actually played really well that day. Shout out to Ryan.
Appreciate it.
Shout out Ryan.
I was on pace for a personal best that day if we'd have played 18.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with Ryan, but Myers, yeah, he killed it. He's a good golfer.
Very good.
But his dad, very smart sports guy. So I went to the Mets game with Myers and his dad, and I was talking to his dad. I was like, "Are you worried about the whole John Angelos lease situation?" He says to me, he's like, "Yes, I am." I was like, "So do you think what are the odds as a percentage that the Orioles are not playing in Baltimore next year?" He's like, "Well, they're going to be here next year because the league would have had to approve a move by now. So the worst that can happen right now is they say we're going to sign a 1-year lease and we're going to negotiate, and then he can move him to Nashville." And when I hear that from Doug Meyer Sr., whose opinion I very much respect, that worries me. That worries me greatly. Okay. Now, do I think the Orioles are moving? No. And even he said, if I had to predict, I think they're going to stay, but it's worrisome at a minimum. So that's number one. And then number two is the fact that I don't trust him to extend any of our young talent, even if they do stay. But I'll take that over them not signing the lease. I mean, Gunnar, Adley, and Holiday. Do I think any of them get extended?
Probably not.
No.
I think maybe Holiday.
If you're betting on it, Brad, as a betting man, you're not putting money on that.
I'm not putting money on it. And
absolutely not.
Maybe
like, what more do you want from okay, I could see okay, you got Adley Rutschman, he comes up at 24. By the time he's a free agent, he would be 30 years old. Okay. I could see some organizations I would personally extend him, obviously, but I could see some organizations across the league saying no, he's a 24-year-old catcher. I know he's good, but we'll replace him when hits free agency. But you get Gunnar Henderson up last year, 21 years old, 22 for his rookie season. Shows plenty of competency at this point. One of the best hitters that this organization has seen in a long time. One of the best all-around prospects this organization's seen in a long time. Number one in baseball, comes up at 21 years old. And if they don't pull the trigger on that extension, it doesn't matter if Jackson Holliday's up next year. He could win Rookie of the Year next year. There's not a big gap.
Yeah, Gunnar is going to be the litmus test,
right,
for their approach going forward, because he is the player that you extend. If you don't extend anybody else, it's him.
I hate to say it, but if I'm Gunnar, I'm probably waiting until I'm a free agent because someone's going to pay me more than the Orioles.
Well, if all Gunnar cares about is money, then that's fine.
Yeah,
he can go get his money somewhere else. But
that's all any pro athlete cares about. I know we want to romanticize it and think that, our talent's different and everything.
Okay, they're athletes to make generational wealth. Yes, you're 100% right. They love the game, but they're not going to do it for free. I know what you're saying, but there are plenty of athletes. Jose Ramirez is another one. He took less money because he likes playing in Cleveland. He likes being in Cleveland. He likes everything about Cleveland. Yep. He took the money they were offering, and you know what? If the Orioles offer Gunnar $280 million and he thinks he can go get $325, I don't know. I'm just making numbers up, but if that little difference is enough for him, then fine. That's cool. But if the Orioles make him a good enough offer, then I think if he likes it here, then I think he'll take it.
Well, with young guys,
I don't think every athlete but the TLDR is I don't think every athlete these days is all about money. I think Manny was all about money.
And I don't blame him. For the record.
Yeah, I don't have I don't have ill will towards a player that just wants to get a bag, but I don't think I respect them as much.
Yeah, I hear you. No, and I hope you're right, obviously. I've never wanted to be more wrong about anything. I hope.
No, dude, I'm with you. I don't think they're going to either, but I'm just saying that Henderson is the litmus test because like Josh said, Adley is all these amazing things, but he is still, no matter how good he is, a 25-year-old catcher who's hitting free agency in his 30s. So you can, painful as it may be, you can understand a team not wanting to commit big long-term money to a guy who's already of his age and who is a catcher who we know from time and time again, playing that position has a pretty negative effect on these guys' bodies.
Plus,
and maybe they can do the Mauer thing and let him play first base as long as his back keeps playing. I mean, who knows? This is so far down the line. But Henderson checks every single box of a player that you want to keep for 10 plus years.
I agree.
He is the age profile. He plays the right position. He's a shortstop. He's playing a lot more shortstop lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. Yeah. But everybody who said, "Oh no, he's a third baseman. Fuck you." No, fuck you, because he is a shortstop. Eat my ass. I've been saying that for fucking years.
So
Henderson's a shortstop?
So do you think Jackson Holiday will be a second baseman?
Sure, whatever. I don't care. Third base. First. I mean, does he have a decent enough throwing arm to play third? I've never seen him play.
I believe Gunnar's throwing arm ranks is it a 70 grade throwing arm, something like that. So I mean, maybe you play with that when that happens, but either way, you can have two really good young
Yeah, but does
players.
Gunner know where his 70 grade arm is going? Because I seem to recall him attempting murder on a cameraman. So, I mean, if Holiday can sing it across there and not kill cameramen, that's fine. Let's
I
let
got
Holiday play the hot corner.
I got a funny story about that situation.
It's not funny. I didn't mean to make a joke. I just,
I mean, I'm glad that Yankees cameraman is fine. Fuck the Yankees.
Is he okay? I actually haven't heard anything.
From what I've heard, he was recovering fine.
Fantastic news.
Pete something. I don't remember his last name. Shout out to Pete. Shout out to Pete.
Friend of the pod, Pete.
Friend of the pod, Pete. Dude, we got to look up his name and try to get him on the pod.
Noted pod ally, Pete, the cameraman.
We got to look him up.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, we got to try to get him as an off-season guest.
I still haven't seen this clip, Brian. If you find the clip, please send it to me.
There's no clip of like ball making impact.
Okay, it just hit him.
It's just Pete Stendel is the guy's name. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe there is. Hold on.
You can screen share, by the way, if you want.
Who the fuck is this guy? Oh my god, I got clickbaited.
No.
I got clickbaited by some guy that looks like Sid from Toy Story.
All right, well, Pete Stendel, huge hippie looking dude, probably a really fun guy though. We're gonna try to get him on the pod in the off season. We'll see what we can do.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's not him.
That's no.
I remember what he looks like, and that's not him.
Of course, he's a Pittsburgh guy.
By the way, speaking of Gunner, he just hit a 2-run bomb.
I just missed it. I looked away for 2 seconds. An Orioles fan caught it too. Let's go.
Good. Love that.
Gunnar Henderson missed everything, and fuck you.
I want to point out that Frazier bobbled the ball at first, which caused Gunner to rush the throw.
Yeah, that's fair.
A routine double play.
Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
Common Adam Frazier L.
Yep. Where was I going with this? I don't even remember, man.
I don't know either, man.
Gunner hitting the cameraman. Something story related. Funny story about this.
I'm not sharing anything.
Whatever it is, we're gonna try to get Pete Stendel on the pod. No.
That's the TLDR.
And we're gonna get. Oh yeah, I remember what I want to go into. So I remember I'm in a group text with a couple buddies of mine that used to work here at the golf course back in the day. My buddy Joe, who got me the job back in college, he's off doing some other big time shit now. But Joe's texting the group chat, and he was like, I find it really funny that this is a super serious situation with the cameraman, but they're driving the cart around the warning track because it's serious, but not serious enough to actually drive on the grass and ruin I'm like, that's actually a really good point, Joe.
Holy fuck.
That's pretty good.
Something only a groundskeeper would notice.
Yep.
I got the trained eye for it.
That's hilarious. So I guess the Cardinals called up Mason Wynn.
I was just looking at his page the other day.
I remember watching him in low A ball when he was in the Cards low A ball system.
Well, he got his first career hit. It was a little infield fucking rolling, swinging bunt. But it's a hit, and Pete Alonso took the ball and put it almost into the club level at Busch Stadium.
Wow. What the fuck?
Yeah. Do you guys want to see?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Wait, so you're saying he got the ball and he chucked it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like the camera goes from Mason Wynn, like, showing it being, good God, Twitter's video player is the worst thing I've ever used.
What was Mason? Life. I want to see what Mason Wynn's reaction was to that.
All right, hold on. You guys see this?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right, here we go. Holy shit! Wow. Wow.
He's a psycho.
I don't think Wynn even noticed either.
He's a psycho.
But he's going to be upset after the game when he finds out that some asshole went home with the ball from his first career hit.
Now he's got to give him like a bat and like his firstborn child or something.
If they even I'm sure I'm sure a team employee probably was right on it. Like as soon as it happened, like, dude, you just imagine some intern is probably like watching the ball sail and they're like, I'm
Hops the
on it.
dugout.
And they go up there, yeah.
So I have
Speaking of Orioles Cardinals links, Drew Rom in 2 starts has thrown 11 innings of 1-run ball in his 2 AAA starts.
he actually dominated the ties of the night, and I was happy for him.
Yeah, friend of the pod, Drew.
I sent him a message. He hasn't replied to it, but I was like, that was cold, bro.
He just liked one of my retweets.
No, yeah, he responded when I sent him well wishes. I was like, best of luck to you and everything, man. You're a great dude. I look forward to following your success in St. Louis. He's like, thanks for all your support in Baltimore and everything. I sent him a message after he dominated the ties of the night, and I was like, that's cold, bro.
Holy
not,
cocks.
But
what
nice,
a nuke.
But nice job. I was happy for him.
Yeah. Did you guys see the gunner bomb yet?
I watched the replay on here.
And the dude chucked it back into the fucking.
Oh, boo. I thought an Orioles fan got it. They showed a video.
No, his buddy was an O's fan, and he's mad. He was upset because he didn't give him the ball.
He said,
no. Man. I'm watching now. He got that one. He got that one.
Did you see it, Josh?
Sad. I didn't see the guy throw the ball back, but I saw the clip.
I'm gonna do the big share again.
Have it. Have at it.
Oh my god, dude! How is Twitter's video player so bad?
It's awful. It's always
horrible. It's horrible on mobile, and it's horrible on fucking desktop too.
The first 30 seconds are blurry for some reason.
Here we go.
Yeah,
it lands like up here.
I want to know the projected distance on that, man.
438.
438. Okay. Yeah.
Look, I feel like he's like, what the fuck, man? What the
fuck? Why'd you do that? Oh man. I just punched that guy in the face.
We got some good clips going tonight, guys.
Yeah. Awesome. This is fun. The most fun episodes are like, late night on a weekend.
Yeah, I'm digging the vibes of Friday night. This is very nice.
Game 1 of the sleeper series for the weekend and just kind of hanging out.
The other memorable one was when we signed Jordan Lyles and Ryan broke it to me that there was a 1-year there was a mutual option on it. And I lost my fucking mind.
His career might be over after this season. He's doing awful.
He's signed for 2 years though, and the Royals aren't going to compete next year.
Oh, they got what they wanted. They saw innings eater Jordan Lyles, and they said, "Yep, get that man."
So I guess he's probably going to be there next year.
Okay, after that contract, he's probably done. I had one final thought on the Henderson extension situation.
Okay.
You guys are saying like, or Brad at least is saying like, I think most of these guys are after money and stuff. I think that's true to an extent, but on a lot of these younger guys that get extended, they usually take the reduced yearly income because it's security for 6 years.
And it also buys out their arbitration years.
It buys out their arbitration years too. And if Gunnar were to like get injured or something horrendous happens, you got like an insurance policy.
There is insurance for the player. It's not like people always like to be like say that they're costing themselves money down the line. It's like, yeah, maybe, but man, I feel like a lot of guys, like you're saying, they like that security, man. Like they make it to the show and then they're good. They're good. Yeah, they have secured no matter what happens, because every MLB contract is fully guaranteed. Not like the NFL's nonsense. They have secured generational wealth. They've done it. Doesn't matter what happens. If they snap their leg in half the next day.
Yep. Irrelevant.
They've got it.
Like I think Key Brian Hayes signed an extension with the Pirates this offseason. It was like for 6 years, and
it's only like $80 million, I think.
It was real small. I think his yearly salary is only like $6 million or something.
Key Brian also can't hit, so
I'm not comparing like the numbers to Gunners or anything like that, but I'm saying like the odds of playing 6 years in Major League Baseball for the average player is not very high. No, like if the Pirates just kind of decide one day, if he didn't sign that extension, if they just kind of decide like, we have example like Nick Gonzalez coming up from AAA, like I know his glove's not as good as Key Brian, but he's a better hitter, so we'll take him in the lineup. Like there goes Key Brian's like hopes of any future chance at making that $80 million. Like it's just not going to happen. And that happens all the time with guys who usually don't get offered those kind of extensions, but it's good to have the guaranteed generational wealth.
I also think that Gunnar seems like the type that would take it if it's offered to him. This is all purely hypothetical. I mean, it's more likely than not it will never be presented to him. I hope to be wrong. I'm hoping there's a very stupid part of my brain that says, "Oh yeah, like once they get the lease settled, they'll, lying to myself, I know, but
Yeah, you're teasing yourself.
yeah,
I don't know, man. I hope so. I really do.
I do too. That's what we all want.
Because as of right now, we can see that we have a good team. We have a 5 to 6 year window where we're going to be pretty fucking good. If we extend some guys, it can be a 10-year window.
Sure.
It just terrified me in the preseason conference when John specifically said, "I want to be like the Brewers, Indians / Guardians."
He didn't say
that.
He didn't say the
and the
Brewers.
Rays.
That didn't terrify. That didn't terrify me though. But and here's why: because the Rays still extended the sex predator. Like even the Rays and the Indians are still extending their young talent.
Indians, yeah, the Guardians extended Andres Jimenez. They gave J-Ram. I think they've given J-Ram two contracts now.
Yeah, 2 midterm contracts. Yeah,
and if he's just talking in those terms, and that's all he means, it means we're not going to sign the big free agents. And I know you guys probably disagree with me on this, but I'm fine with that because if you look at,
they never work out.
I can live with that part, but if you don't extend the young talent, I have trouble with that.
Exactly. That's where I'm like, yeah, you got to pay him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like, and it didn't. I'm the same, Brad. It didn't bother me either. Like, it's kind of the model that the O's have had under Peter Angelos, like
forever.
Before, yeah. Like, yeah, no, they're never gonna make the big play at the big $300 million guy. But dude, they extended to physical pain. To Peter Angelos's credit, it hurts to say. Sorry. They always extended the young guys, except for Manny. Manny was the only one. Yeah. And I genuinely think Manny just didn't want to be here. I never got the vibe that he liked playing for the Orioles. Like, he was good buddies with Scope, and like that was it.
Yeah. And the one thing I will give the Angelos brothers credit for is the GM hire. That's the one thing they've done right. And I don't agree with every single thing Elias has done. I think he's signed some unnecessary free agents, but all in all, he's absolutely killed the rebuild.
Yeah, you can't draft better than that. You can't develop better than what they've done. I mean, we saw the bullpen pitching lab on full display last year. I mean, I was kind of not an Elias hater, but I'd try to find him slip up if I could, and you can't really deny the results, I guess.
You just need to look elsewhere at teams that have attempted to do the same thing.
Right. The Tigers are in shambles.
The Tigers,
right
the Royals.
The Royals.
Dude, the Royals and O's pick 1-2 in 19. So, Rutschman, Witt, we know all about that. And now the Royals are still bad.
And they don't have a good farm system.
They don't have a good farm system.
Second worst team, second worst farm system.
Yep.
I was looking at
the Tigers rebuild completely failed. I mean, it was
100%.
And I'll say I thought the Tigers rebuild was going to work. I really did.
It looked like they were heading in the right direction.
They even signed the extension, or not the extension, the free agents to kind of couple that with the young guys, and the young guys all got hurt, and Torkelson's terrible. So, not terrible, but he's average. So average.
For a first baseman, he's below average.
Yeah. Riley Green's actually been pretty impressive.
Riley Green's solid.
Isn't Kerry Carpenter pretty good too?
Oh yeah, he's my freaking guy. I love Kerry. He wasn't part of the rebuild.
Some guy on Twitter, I don't even know who he is, but he calls him Kerry Bonds, and it makes me laugh.
Kerry Bonds. Yeah, he was like a 25th round selection senior in college out of Tennessee, and he was probably going to be out of the league. And last year, he just started hitting in Double-A. He had like a 1,000 OPS 40 games into the year. They just moved him up because he was playing good, and he just found his way in the big leagues, and here he is.
That's sick.
It was a cool story. I like.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, he was like done. It was probably over, filler on a roster. But I was looking at the 2020 draft again, and I remember this guy when he first got drafted, and I was like, he's probably going to be like a solid pitcher for them. They picked Asa Lacy with the fourth overall pick in that draft. That's
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
Kerstad draft. He's pitched. He hasn't pitched yet this year. I don't, or maybe he's pitched like 2 games this year. He's in Double A. 11 something ERA. Last year he pitched like 30 games in Double A, 9 something ERA. Just there's bust, but a
Yeah.
lot of these guys went like pitcher heavy with the rebuilds, and it just doesn't work out a lot of the time with pitchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Tigers, their foundation of the rebuild was Matt Manning, Tarek Skubal, and Casey Mize. And I don't think anyone besides Manning, and I think Skubal just got back, but Manning only pitched like a few games this year. Mize still hasn't pitched this year. Just
It's crazy,
atrocious.
dude. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
they went from like the next big thing to back into it again
Can you watch those games on a browser? Is that a thing that you can do?
in a browser.
Yeah.
I sent you that Volo kit link a while back.
Yeah, let me give my computer aids.
I'm a big Game Pass guy, but I've heard Dofu Sports
Have
app
you-
you can watch any
Brad,
game.
have you seen the 3D Gamecast?
No, I haven't.
Dude, pull that shit up.
Where?
Hold on. Let me
Okay,
go
Joe
back and look
Rogan.
at it. Yeah. Pull that up. Pull that up.
Jamie, pull that
Jamie,
shit up.
Jamie, pull it up. Jamie, pull it up. It's all right. Hold on. Hold on. I will get it and I will show it to you. It's
Okay.
it's literally like watching the game.
Oh, is it like it tracks all the movements and stuff, and it shows the
Mhm.
little dots every time Mike Petriello posts those? I think it's so cool.
Yes. Shit. Oh, 3D. There we go. Okay. So, Brad, when you have your game cast up and it has your little picture that it looks like MLB The Show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
There should be a little bubble that says 3D in the top right. And I want you to click on that.
All right, so I'm on MLB.com Gamecast.
Right?
And I pulled up.
Right?
I don't see a little bubble on my phone.
That's so freaking cool.
Should be a screenshot of what you're looking at.
I'm gonna can you see it?
Lower your phone a little bit.
It's just
Yours
like watching
doesn't
the game.
Yours doesn't look the same as mine.
That's
Oh, 'cause
because
you-
I have the 3D thing on.
The fuck?
You
That
have
is
it on your phone?
wild.
Yeah, so I'll show you what I'm looking at. I don't know what the fuck to click. Can you see? It's really bright, so I don't
It's
even
really
think you can
bright.
see.
So hold on. Let me get the zoom window back up.
The top right behind O'Hearn's body,
I see.
behind his bat.
I see headphones for audio,
Oh,
and that's it.
Very interesting. I'm gonna take a little like screen record video so I can send it to you, Brad, and you can see what
I
I'm
haven't
talking
seen
about.
this
Yeah.
version yet.
Yeah, go ahead and do that because I'm interested. But I've
It's
also
literally
heard
like you're watching the game, but it's like
I've also heard that Dofu Sports app, they don't black out games. You can watch those games on that.
oh, that's cool.
That's what some people have told me. But I'm very comfortable game casting. People are like, it's not the same as watching the game. I'm like,
This is like watching the game.
Yeah,
It
Gamecast.
tracks
The,
the
3D
movements.
Gamecast actually is. Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
tracks the exact movements of the
Yeah,
players.
like it was glitched a little bit, and it said O'Hearn was up to bat, and just looking at the guy in the batter's box, I could see by his stance. I was like, no, that's Mountcastle. Like it was so obvious. Here you go, Brad. I just sent you the video. It's so sick.
and it's only like a 2-second delay on the
Yeah.
I mean, that's
versus
pretty
the
cool.
TV.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Why'd
cool.
you do this to me, Ryan?
Your battery's low, by the way.
Thank you. Yes.
So
Don't
I
worry.
do-
I put it in low power mode.
slightly off topic, but a buddy of mine, Myers, yeah, he was out of town, and when I was in between the split shift today, he asked me to let his dogs out, and I was worried when I left. You know, have you ever been in that situation where you're like, did I lock that door
Yeah.
after you leave? I was like, did I close the garage? I was pretty sure I did, but I've been questioning all day. He just texted me saying garage was closed, so I did it. Shout out to
Congratulations, bud.
thank you.
I'm just
Shout out
watching
to
them
you.
play infield warm-ups right now. Mott throwing balls.
You can stream in the app, but you need a cable provider to log in. Super
Just-
cool and fun. Thank you,
Just
John.
give your computer aids.
What was the thing again?
It's volokit.com. VOLOKIT.com.
I literally had to stop using Google Chrome because I gave it AIDS from streaming. So, full send. Fuck it.
Hey, I have some good news. Aside from the O's leading 5-2 in the middle of the third, the Angels are up 5-1 on the Rays.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
Who's even left for them? Like Mickey Moniak's been having a really good year with them. First overall pick that was a bust until this year.
Well, apparently Ohtani has a grand slam.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Carrying.
Neto's not even in the lineup tonight.
He's hurt.
Who's the guy that just called up?
The first baseman. I don't know what his name is.
Schnaul.
They're batting him leadoff tonight.
They're insane over there. They're nuts.
He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored.
He was their 11th overall pick this year. Yeah, those guys are crazy. The Angels and Rockies are just the funniest organizations. They just do whatever.
I have something I need to tell you about when we get off of here.
You can take us off now because we're kind of just we're out of topics. So.
That's true. All right. Once we stop recording, I'll tell you about it.
Okay. Brad did the intro, so Brad should do the outro.
Brad should also take us out, yeah, because I was
tardy.
Yeah, well, I had my reasons.
Kind of tardy.
Okay. I had my reasons. I'm stomach problems.
Ah, okay.
To put it as nicely.
Oh, you went
as
to
I
the
possibly
hospital
can.
at this hour, huh?
What?
Joking.
Oh. Yeah, I don't go to the hospital. I'll just die.
I'll tell you that.
Simply pass away. Take us out of here, Brad.
I'll
Thanks,
tell you.
Brad.
All right, Talking Birdie fans. Appreciate you listening to episode 74, right, Josh?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, great. We apologize that we have been not overly consistent with our episodes. We're all busy with life, but the O's are playing well, and we'll be with you next time as soon as we can.
We are out of excuses. We just fucking suck at this. Sorry.
We suck. Yeah.
I think I canceled on you guys twice this week, and then Ryan was like, I don't even want to.
Yeah.
I think we've all canceled at some point, but nonetheless, we appreciate you guys that are still tuning in despite our lack of consistency. Couldn't do it without you. Tune back in next time. Love you guys.
Whenever that is.
Peace.
Yep. See you in October.
Yep.